시켜 먹는 것보다 더 맛있네.
비슷하지?
아니 더 맛있어. 부드러워. 입에서 그냥 살살 녹아.
I was never the one to write up a song for just anyone. I was always the one to find myself lost in long conversations. Oh, 'cause I've always been told that things will unfold if you keep on waiting. But then you came along and proved me all wrong. I was so mistaken. Let you down, and I know that I was not always around. I made you feel
압도적인데
alone. You spent most of your nights just sitting on your own. I should have done so much more, like giving you the things you asked. I plan to let you know the longing of my heart.
How many smiles does it take to be happy? How many times do you have to feel lonely before you get the chance to meet someone? Before you get to meet someone like you?